Hello everyone, thank you for your patience. I've got so much great value to share today and I am wanting to double the value. So we have got a lot to share today. I've got a lot to unpack and I just want to crack straight into it. I want to go over a conversation that I was having in my live on Tuesday. I want to open up a little bit more deeply on how I converted a young girl with inflammation or acne on her chin, to be quite frank, who was really into a lot of social drinking, which is all good, but yet the consequences of that and how I enabled her to feel safe, feel heard, and not be judged. And so that's one thing I want to talk about today. The big thing I want to talk about today is that friendly chat consultations can feel good, right? But without a sales frame or process, they're quietly costing you and your business revenue, high profit, and rebooking. Small talk won't grow your business, but here's what will. Because we have to start being really real. If your consultations feel more like a friendly social catch-up with a little bit of a professional slant on it, or a little bit of professional conversation, you're not alone. Most salon owners and skin beauty professionals fall into this trap. And here's the danger, because many of you are highly skilled. Maybe so much so that you're a specialist, an expert. You might be an expert in advanced facials. There could be injectable nurse practitioners here, skin correction specialists who have high knowledge and specialized knowledge in active ingredients that can turn people's skin around. You might be a lash or beauty artist. You've spent years building your knowledge, but if you keep that knowledge to yourself, it's not only an assault on you, your client, or your business, you're actually holding all three of those areas back. Because when you don't fully step into your authority, three destructive things happen, short-term and long-term. Would you like to know? Let me know. I'm going to tell you anyway because I'm so excited. This is what I found in my clinic. I felt very comfortable in the consultation process. And when I say comfortable, it got so familiar that I knew exactly what to say, when to say, how to say it. And this is why I'm giving away this incredible blueprint consultation, because that is the thing that created my 10K plus weeks when I had no staff, no marketing skills. I didn't know I had sales skills. I just knew I had incredible people skills. I knew I wanted to connect and build rapport with my clients and build long-term relationships. But I was new to Sydney and I knew no one. So I made the time to sit down and connect with my clients and figure out exactly what brought them in, what they love, what they don't like, and what they're actually looking for, and how I can help them long term. Now, dropping in that word long term made them think, oh, I'm here for the long term. I'm not here for a quick win or one-off treatment, or to actually just service them for a one-off treatment. This is what happened. My clients ended up rebooking, upgrading, and purchasing their skincare. I had a list, a wait list, that was unbelievable. And that's when I knew 2 years later I needed to employ a team. But what I want to share with you today is that if you're not having professional conversations, number one, your clients miss out. It's devastating. Like, that is the worst for me. When your clients miss out, they will go looking somewhere else. And they get disappointed, and that leads to not only disappointment but conversations outside your skin or clinic to other people sharing what went down. And if what went down wasn't what they wanted, you best believe clients will talk more about what wasn't great more than they'll talk about what was great. Does that make sense? Because we tend to really be really annoyed and want to express our annoyance to more people than when we're so happy. We're not used to celebrating our wins or our greatness or I had an amazing treatment. We do that quietly. But how often do you go, oh my God, I had the most amazing facial, I had the most amazing haircut, I had the most amazing massage, oh my gosh, my eyelashes look amazing, oh my gosh, these skin products are outstanding. We tend to be programmed to talk more about an upset, a negative experience, rather than celebratory. Yes, our mindset is shifting today and these days, but you best believe people will talk more about what they weren't happy with and what they weren't satisfied with, more likely than when they're really, really excited. So, as I was saying, there's 3 destructive things that can happen if you tend to have more small talk than professional-led conversations in your consultation that lead your client on a journey or pathway that allows them to rebook with you, say yes with you, and purchase from you to get the results they want. It's about the client. This is what can happen. Your clients miss out. They don't get a full access to your wisdom, your knowledge, your expertise, your specialty. So they will never achieve the results they truly want, need, and desire. The second biggest thing is your business loses profitability. If you're playing small, under recommending, and I mean this in a heartfelt way, if you don't have self-belief or clarity or confidence or certainty in your expertise, specialty, or your treatments you offer, even your skincare, you'll be second guessing yourself, which quietly chips away at your revenue every single week. And the third biggest area is not sustainable. I talk about sustainability in a way of long-term vision, not just today, next week, next month, next quarter, like long-term. Are you in the business? Are you in your career 5, 10, 20 years? Me, it's 33 years. And to be here as excited as I was on the very first day is because I had a long-term sustainable vision. Because you will burn out, you will get the exhaustion, and I've been there, and it's devastating. And we can avoid it. That's why I love sharing my knowledge, my expertise, and my skill set. Because when I'm coaching my clients, I can help them avoid the burnout trap, the exhaustion trap. I can show them strategies, systems, to be sustainable. We have to think our sustainability is not just our business, it's our energy, it's our profitability. You can't build a thriving clinic on small talk, overworking, undercharging. It's simply not a growth strategy. And I'm here to awaken you to really see this seriously, because the shift needs to happen. What changes everything is a confident consultation process, one that allows you to share your expertise freely, guide your clients' decisions, and serve at the highest level. How's this feeling to you all? I'd love to hear who is here. And that's how you create happy clients and a profitable, sustainable business. Clients that refer, rebook, repeat, and retail from you. I really want you to take this on. You don't have to figure it out all by yourself or do it the hard way. I've created this free resource that maps out the exact process. Every word is intentional, so you need to read it word for word and really follow it and practice it. The 5 to 10K plus consultation blueprint. It's for salon owners that tend to be stuck at that sort of 2-4K process. Say that again, I've got processes in my mind. It's for salon and clinic owners that tend to be stuck at the 2K, 4K week revenue, and you want to be growing to 8 to 10Ks and plus. Because if you've got a team, you definitely need to be making more than 10Ks a week, of course, but using this process will get you there. Inside, you're going to discover the 5-step yes boosting framework. I use this to double my revenue and most weeks trip and achieve up to 80% rebookings, all without awkward or pushy sales tactics. And in a moment, I'm going to show you something or share something with you that you don't have to be awkward or pushy with a sales tactic. And that happened in my live last Tuesday, with Tuesday just gone, and was something really, really special. I was looking after a young woman, only 23, cystic inflamed breakouts on her chin, and I've studied traditional Chinese medicine, and the line from lower lip down to your jaw is the ovary line. She actually has a marina, so she actually doesn't know her cycle because she doesn't have a bleed cycle, so she's not sure what time her actual cycle is, even though she still has fluctuations of estrogen. She can feel them in her body and her mood levels change. But the point is that is definitely an inflamed hormonal breakout. And in my live on Tuesday, I was sharing about this woman. And today what I want to go deeper on is how I made her feel so safe, seen, heard, understood without feeling judged. Because we got to the point in her consultation where I kind of gathered there was nothing else creating this inflamed breakout, because she had a really clean diet, really aware at 23, was doing a lot of oral inner health, seeing a naturopath to help as well. And I started to talk about her lifestyle. And in my live on Tuesday, I was talking about my drinking pattern when I was her age, and younger even actually, and I worked out, why am I drinking? Like, you just wake up feeling absolute crap, rubbish. I worked so hard to keep well and vibrant and healthy, and then I put all this poison in my body just so I can seemingly have a good time and sort of be amongst it all and fit in and all of that. And I was sharing my life, I actually lost friends over it, and when I decided not to drink, to be precise. So actually, when I decided to go, I don't want to be drinking like this anymore. I actually don't even like the taste of alcohol. Like, it has to be, for me, really fine, good quality for me to actually enjoy a beautiful drink. Like the highest champagne. I'm not a snob at all. I'm very down to earth. But when I want to put something in my body, it has to be nutritional. I find, like, what my body gives me so much, and I want to look after it. Like, to perform all day in coaching, being on my feet if I'm hands-on with treatments, to give to my clients consistently and equally as great. My energy has to be high performance, and I know your brain has to be in high performance. And I was watching a podcast on a brain surgeon who had operated on 3,000 brains, so he's got to know something about brain health. And he actually said there's no level of alcohol that is good for our brain, no level. So when you hear things like red wine is great for us, that is just marketing BS, because studying nutritional health, resveratrol that is in red wine or red grapes, you have to have a high dose of resveratrol to have an anti-inflammatory effect on your body that helps mop up the free radicals in your blood. So red wine, go for it. If you enjoy it, drink it. I'm not against drinking, actually. I just don't like it myself. I'm all good with people who drink, absolutely. Most of my friends do. However, I just choose not to. If I do, it's just every now and then. It's not something I actually like to. So my point in this conversation, if you're following me, is that I wanted to make this young woman feel really safe, because she had a drinking culture in her circle of friends, and they would binge drink on weekends and drink 3 or 4 times during the week. And I could see this effect on her beautiful skin elsewhere, but her inflamed chin was just so aggravated. So I told her about my history, and then that made her feel so safe, seen, heard and understood without judgment. But the thing here, what I wanted to share more importantly, was that she was willing to a degree to spend money on her skin. She booked in with me for a skin treatment to help and get advice on these breakouts. And what shifted was I dropped in words and conversations that made her think about her skincare and her skin different. And I was saying, if you're prepared to purchase high quality concentrated skincare right now, this will help you moving forward. But if it's out of your reach, I want you to know I can create a home care program that is affordable and that you can also maintain at home. So we can get onto your inflamed skin sooner rather than later. And I asked what her thoughts were on this, and which was great, because it made her feel like she's empowered. It made her think, I can make a decision here. It's up to me to make that decision. By giving her permission, it allowed her to say, oh yeah, I'm really interested. I totally agree. I am ready. And because she said I'm ready, this gave me permission to say to her, well, I can create a home care program, and your next appointment's moving forward for the rest of the year. If that's possible for you, let me know. And she said, yeah, I'd love to know. Just tell me what I need to do. And I said, well, there's just one thing I need to let you know. Because you are investing in, the word investing, in high quality concentrated skincare, it's going to last you for 4 to 6 months, depending on how frequently you're using the cleansers and the nourishing creams. So therefore, the investment's going to be worth your while, because we only have one face, and we need to look after our one face best as possible. And you best believe what she actually said, I'll just do whatever you say. And from all the information I shared about her nutrition, the foods could enhance her skin better. The amount of sugar she needs to eliminate and alcohol she needs to eliminate, from the exercise to her sweating and perspiring. So much we went through in her consultation, her sleep patterns, her hormones, her past with her menstruation before the Marina. She just appreciated all that value so much. So my point is, we need to make time to explain this thoroughly to our clients, educate them, inform them. And I'm sure I'm not teaching or telling you anything that you don't know, but I'm driving this home so you can move forward and see how, when you make the time, to share this quality information, your skills, your knowledge, your expertise that you have studied for many, many years, that you can then pass on. You then allow your client to be empowered, and your knowledge then comes from an educational point of view, not from a pushy point of view or a pressure point of view. It's just some simple tweaks of giving the client the information to make an empowered decision. How's this all feeling to you? I just really would love to know. Because, things like I find myself saying, when you invest, you only have one face. The products are going to last this much. That really helps the client make an informed decision, better outcomes for better results. And the fact is, we don't sell skincare, we sell results. And I really want you to really take that on quite seriously. Your information, your knowledge, your expertise, your skill set, your specialty is the outcome and the results that give your clients what they want, need and desire. And please do remember this, that the fact is we don't sell skincare, we sell results. So that is why friendly chat conversations don't turn into revenue. Small talk won't grow your business, but this is what will, and that is what I wanted to share today. So I hope this was highly useful, and really everyone needs to be downloading this yes boosting blueprint, the consultation blueprint. So your action steps from here is to share this with your bestie. Invite them into the group or share the link with your bestie. Download it, read it intentionally, take your time to read it, unpack it and implement it. And look at how you can improve professional chats with your clients using the consultation blueprint. So grab your copy now. I hope you found this informative, beauties. Love to hear any feedback. Is there anything that's working in your business? Anything you'd like to improve perhaps is an opportunity to actually consider, how can I improve my consultation process? Because, actually I want to share. So yesterday I went and got my haircut. I'm home in Bellingen in our little country town, New South Wales in Australia, just under Coffs Harbour inland from Port Macquarie. So just for context, it's 500 kilometres from Sydney. Pristine green valleys, great dividing range, the mountains and the ocean. We'll be heading up to waterfalls, which are literally a 20-minute drive up the mountain in Dorrigo over the long weekend. Yes, having the long weekend, it's exciting. But what I want to share, so I went and got my hair cut yesterday. Now I adore my hairdresser in Bellingen. She used to be a senior executive cutter in Sydney, in Mosman, which is quite an exclusive area in Sydney, and now she's spent rest of her adult life in Bellingen, and she's equally as good. I love her haircut. She just cuts my hair so beautifully. I get the same cut in Sydney for $190 and she charges $60. She is way too cheap. So what I wanted to share was that she is a sort of conditioned senior stylist that runs on no lunch break, finds it difficult to stop to have a drink, has 4 people in her salon. So she's got 1 person in reception, I'm in the chair, and there's 2 other women in the chair. And it's wild. Like, I actually feel like I'm on a spin dryer when I leave. And I don't want to go anywhere else because she cuts my hair so beautifully. But the thing is, what I also want to talk about here that is valid to our business and how we look after our clients is, she has 30 years of senior cutting. She's an expert and a specialist, but she never talks about it. She told me 8 years ago, and I listened really carefully. But because she's rushing, she doesn't consult, she doesn't wash her hair thoroughly to the point where you're getting the full scalp treatment, the conditioning treatment, the massage. There's no beverage offered, and it's pretty rushed. When she brushes my hair, it's pretty rushed. She's consistent with cutting my hair with a lot of focus. That's why I end up with such a good cut. But she's way too cheap, and if she saw less people, charged more, actually had a lunch break and enjoyed having a beverage, she would be more calm herself. And this is the trap I think is pretty common in the hairdressing industry. They get conditioned from an apprentice not to have a lunch break, to overwork, to overpack their schedule, and therefore they're rattled at the end of the day, trying to talk to everyone and please everyone and also do an incredible job. I just wouldn't survive in that industry, and I always encouraged our team, our girls, to have a lunch break. I would actually even pay them to have a lunch break, because Two of my girls in the beginning said, no, I don't want a lunch break. I'd rather be paid. And I said, well, you will be paid. I'm paying you for a lunch break because I valued them feeling nourished, calm, relaxed and grounded. So therefore they could look after our clients in the same manner and give our clients an exceptional results. And that's why they felt looked after. We had half an hour every day. It was crossed out and it was only moved if a client could not get in and it had to be moved, as long as they still had a break. So just something to consider in your own business and your own practice. Are you having little breaks or a break so you can sustain yourself? I hope this is really useful because we really need to start considering our energy as the end of the year is approaching. And sometimes, it's not possible, but we want it to be more possible than it's not possible. And it's up to us. We've got control of how we look after ourselves. I mean, it's like giving advice to your client, right? Would you give advice to your client not to have a lunch break? Would you give advice to your best friend not to have a lunch break? So how are you going to look after yourself? That's what I'm talking about. We really have to take the ownership and self-responsibility to look after ourselves, to have the energy, the sustainability for the impact of what we want to continue to create in our clients' results, our business, and our own personal health. I see health as my wealth. It's really, really a high priority for me. So I hope really this is useful. I'm going to link the business consultation blueprint here and go ahead and action it, download it, share it to your bestie, and I can't wait to hear your feedback. All right, beauties, until next time, lots of love and sparkles. Have the fabulous long weekend if you're in Australia, and happy weekend to everyone else. Bye for now.